Yeah, twiddling with my ears, why not? They are my ears, I can play with them any way I want. I hope you've heard the news that today is World Day Against Child Labor, and just gone by was a brief conversation, but very illuminating, with James Kofi Annan, president of Challenging Heights. They have rescued 23 children believed from the worst forms of child labor over the weekend, aged between 4 and 17. 17 boys, 6 girls, 16 different communities along the Lake Volta. Some of them exhibiting slavery-like conditions. There's a big story on that in today's Ghanaian Time, Daily Graphic, page 47. So go buy a copy and read. I wonder what my guests make of what they just heard. Eric Delano Alifo is from the NDC's legal team, and Ben Jehu Apia is from the NPP's national communication team. Ben, Eric, good morning once again.
Good morning,
Good morning.
I'm just wondering whether you have any thoughts on what you just heard from James Annan about child labor and what's going on the lake. I'll start with you probably, Eric.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me. And I was advised that before I start, I must greet my constituents of West.
I see.
Because I just came out of a primary, NDC
okay.
primary.
Okay, which area?
Whole West constituency.
Okay.
So, yeah, Madugbenau. So I understand many of them are watching me on set now, and they would want to watch me more. And I hope that I'm going to be doing this more often.
All right.
And so I want to greet you all, Whole West people. I'm still with you. You can have your confidence in me that I'm going to be forcing and trying everything to defend your welfare and your interests. So I greet you, and all those who are watching, I hope that you enjoy the program. Thank you.
Okay, which towns are in Whole West?
All right, Whole West, well, it starts from a village called Ededo. When you are going from Accra to, after Joapon, you are going to Ho.
Okay.
The first village there is called Ededo, and then you get to Chito.
Okay.
So Chito is the biggest community that you meet.
Right.
The first one before you get to Whole West.
Okay.
And then you move towards the Sanyawasi, then Peje area, Fatime area, and then it goes to Abutia.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes to
Sokode and all those places.
No, Sokode is in Ho Central.
Ho Central.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So Ho is very big, quite very big. You know, then it goes to the Dome, Jolopita, and all of those places.
Right.
I hope you know all those places.
Yeah, well, I come. My people are Kanyigbe and
Oh, okay.
Akwefe.
So you are in Ho Central,
Ho Central,
actually.
yes, all right.
Okay, yeah. So that's Ho West, and I understand many of them are watching, and I'm glad they are watching me.
We are glad to.
This is their illustrious son, and I think that they will enjoy the program.
I think
so.
So
Yes.
too.
Should I just go straight ahead?
Yeah. Just
I think I heard the man spoke about 21% of children in Ghana in child labor, and that's quite high.
It's crazy.
Yeah, very high, and I believe our government has a responsibility. And so we are all concerned, very worried about this, and I think the right investment, he knows the area very well, and so he spoke about the institutions that have to be empowered, and we hope that government will make the right investment in the right area so that they will be able to keep some of these things. This percentage is just too high.
It's too high.
Yeah, even 5% should be high enough, and we are not talking about 21%.
It's true.
And so, and you know, they say the future belongs to the youth. So if we leave our children to go underwater, and I heard about sex slave and all of that, and they are abused and harassed and all of that, I don't think it's good for the nation. And so, yeah, instead of making so much noise about what we'll do, people who are in power, they must do the right investment. Let's see them in action. Let's see the money go to the right places instead of the wrong places. And people pocket the money and read themselves. We want to see that the money is working for the nation, and that is what we are all hoping to see.
All right, Eric. Thank you so much, Ben.
Yeah, Kafu.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Do you have any people to greet?
oh, yeah, good morning to the people of Cape Coast North. That's where I hail from.
Okay.
That's where I actually grew up.
Okay.
And a very good morning to my grandpa. He actually is one of the pioneers for GBC.
Your grandpa?
Thomas Apia.
Okay.
Yes, he lived there whilst I think in the 90s.
Okay.
So he's on retirement right now. Very good morning to him as well. Kafu, I would want
Maybe
to
that was
say,
grandpa calling you.
yeah.
Yeah, you put it on silence so
Yes,
grandpa doesn't
yes.
call again.
I would want to say, you know, this whole child labor thing and whatever it is something that we all must take a critical look at. Is very, very sad.
Yeah.
I used to work with an NGO called Ghana Make a Difference.
Okay.
And they basically, that's what they do. They shelter children from the Volta Lake. most areas that most of these children were coming from were Bassa. I don't know if you heard of Bassa. It's now, I think, in the Oti region or something. Yeah. So these children were rescued. You know, what the NGO did was that they would take these children home to the shelter home and then reorient them, give them education. And as they are reorienting the children, they reorient the parent as well.
That's all.
Now they go into an agreement with the parent. Do you want the children back, or you want us to take care of the children to a certain level? So I think that there needs to be more awareness, you know, where parents would have to understand that their wards or their children are their future. There's no need for them to, you know, sadly looking upon a 7-year-old child to go under a leg or give to somebody to go work for, so that you can get something, you know. It's rather unfortunate that some of these things are happening. Like James said, the Ministry of Gender and Social Protection would have to be more resourced, Kafui. I think that the government is trying, but I think we need to do more of it. The numbers are going up and up each and every day. And I would want to say that Mr. James is doing a very good job, and that other stakeholders, private and government, should also look at supporting them as well. Awesome. But I would also want to, Kafui, I want to say a very good morning to the World Bank president, the World Bank country director for Ghana, Mr. Laporte. You've heard what he said last week.
He said something that.
Oh, of course. It's you know, you see, my brother here and his party were going around the country on various media, telling people that the COVID funds were misused, misappropriated, and for none other things did this government use the funds for other things. Have we? It is very important that at this point in our country, that because of political power, the NDC, the largest opposition party, will just go around and spew lies, propaganda. Look, I have a statement from the country director. And Gavi, I'll read a statement to you. It is very, very important because this government, especially President Akufo-Addo, has suffered too much image tarnishing in the hands of the opposition party. That COVID funds were misused, COVID funds were spent on election and all that. Now we have the World Bank country director coming out with the truth. And here's a statement. We have done our audit and we concluded that the government of Ghana largely used the COVID support tokens properly to the bent of Ghana. We are very satisfied that our resources were spent in line with the procurement requirements that existed. We do not feel that our resources have been misused or mismanaged. From our audit, all funds provided to Ghana were expended for their right purposes. Pierre-Frank Laporte, World Bank Country Director for Ghana. So I am very happy this morning, Kafui, that there has been a finality and a closure to this propaganda and lies that was coming from the largest opposition party, that COVID funds were misappropriated. Now, we all must cast our mind back. In these difficult times, World Bank came to our aid. Their communication officer, Sammy Jemfi, went around telling people that the COVID funds were largely misappropriated.
Okay, so you've made your point, and the World Bank has come to say that, as far as they are concerned,
it is something. But you know the shocking thing. Last week, Samuel Jinapo, I think John Jinapo, from the NDC, organized a press briefing and was attacking Mr. Laporte.
Let me quote what he said. Okay. Minority spokesperson on Mines and Energy, John Jinapo.
John.
And he said, quote, we will finally wish to advise the World Bank Country Director, Mr. Laporte, to continue to work as a technocrat and not meddle himself in the field of politics. Mr. Laporte, you're not a politician, and when you are making such unsubstantiated comments, you must bear in mind that it has far-reaching ramifications on this country, end quote. And then he added by saying, Ghanaians are sick and tired of these unnecessary and flimsy blame games adopted by government and its hirelings. So this is Mr.
Laporte,
Mr. John Laporte saying
Laporte is not a Ghanaian. Okay? He is a neutral person who has come here to work for World Bank. Now, when he's been asked as a director for World Bank here in Ghana, if you're asked about the propaganda and the lies that is going around, that the government of the day has spent so much money on other things instead of the COVID funds that were supposed to go to individuals or citizens, and that they have a solid claim that the government misused all these funds. Now, Mr. Laporte then comes to us that they have done their audit. They do not feel they have come to a conclusion that COVID funds given to Ghana government were expended for the right purposes. Now, because Mr. Laporte has come out to the truth, the NDC is now peeved. They are angry that somebody had to come out and say the truth. Kafui, what kind of nation are we running here?
Let's hear from Eric.
It is very
Eric
important.
is on the legal team of the NDC.
Exactly.
Let's get his response.
I don't know what he has to say, but
so
this is the
You
truth.
will not know until he speaks.
Okay.
So let him
Why,
speak.
you don't think I should have anything to say?
Oh, no, you can go ahead, but this is the truth.
Let him speak.
Well, okay, all right. That is your truth. Anyway, I'm surprised that he's calling on us to, as Ghanaians, we went through all of this, the COVID system and the period and the monies that were expended and all of that. We went through all of that. We saw that ourselves. And he's telling us that what we have experienced, we should leave that aside and rather believe somebody who is in the diplomatic world, the World Bank. These are international public institutions. They are in the diplomatic world. They wouldn't say it exactly as it is. They wouldn't want to sound political. They would want to, and of course, they are helping government. They are rescuing, the IMF is rescuing government now. And so IMF cannot now be castigating government and saying that you didn't spend the money well. But we were in this country during the elections. We saw the expenditure that was made by government. In fact, we were in this country during the COVID period. Our relatives and friends received money. This is not, people received money on their phones under the pretext that we are helping you to do some business, and so just bring your phone numbers and people registered. If you are an MPP member, if you want to vote for MPP, they registered them. So in fact, even in my village. And these people, you just sit and then money will come on your phone.
Where's your village?
Well, my village is called Abutiakule.
Okay.
So they were, I don't blame those people anyway, because when you ask the people to register and we shall give you some money for trading and all of that, everybody will register. And then they shared dryers, sewing machines and all of that. We know. And then there wasn't an NPP, I don't know whether it's a parliamentary candidate somewhere in one of the northern regions, that mentioned that she received 100,000 Ghana cedis as part of the COVID funds that they were distributing to them, and constituency chairman received a certain amount and the organizer received. So clearly, we have seen it all. And instead of, they should be showing us what the COVID money has been expended on, instead of telling us to listen to what Mr. Laporte has said. Because Laporte is not a Ghanaian. They will come out and try to cover government because they want to help government. Because, of course, the situation is that those people cannot say anything. And in fact, the opposition, we have to put government in check, and that's what we are doing. We are very alert, monitoring everything, and anything we see that is untoward, we have to speak about it. But for the international organizations, backdoor, they may say something different to government. And then in public, because when they are the ones that will come and tell us that they didn't spend the money well enough, can you imagine what will happen? And so I don't, the fact that they are now advising us that rather listen to those people and don't listen to Ghanaians who are experiencing it all means that they have even failed already. And so I'm surprised that he's so excited about the fact that the country director, the World Bank country director, is praising government or is saying something or is trying to kind of absolve government from all that. We know the corruption, we have seen it all with our eyes. Everybody has seen it. In fact, he himself knows about it. No. He knows about it. His government, the government operatives knows about it. In fact, they receive the money, and we can see it. So I'm surprised about this, and I don't want to say anymore because
you both had your take on. No, hold on. You had your take on this. We went swiftly from World Day Against Child Labor into World Bank issues. What Mr. Laporte said, what the NDC has responded to. So I think we'll now dive into what is in the news today, and you can send us what you think about what you've heard from my guests this morning, Eric and Ben, on their takes on the issues. Let me just run through the headlines and we'll get some comments from my guests. Daily Graphic, time to nurture green Ghana trees, says the other Jinapor, Samuel Abu Jinapor, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Malaria boosted COVID-19 resistance. That's a research that has established. NDC not against ROPA. Ghana reclaims position as Africa's top gold producer. And the ADB, good news, has presented a 1 million CD ultimate prize to National Best Farmer. It's right there in today's graphic. Ghanaian Times, police gunned down 5 robbers, seized vehicle, motorbikes, weapons, ammunition at Botiano. Ghana ready for investment, Dr. Koto tells global investors at Agriculture Forum in Turkey. Green Ghana Day, President urges Ghanaians to conserve forest cover, promote a sustainable environment. And the MPA has granted powers to prosecute oil supply chain crimes. Electoral Commission cautions critics over unjustifiable attacks on integrity. The Finder, our track record is our campaign message, says Dr. Bawumia, responding to political opponents. Work on Kumawu roads is even progressing faster after the by-election, says the roads minister. And more people are eulogizing Professor Ama Ata Edu. New publisher, no Ghana card, no SIM block. Ajay Mensah Kosa chairs UN Habitat Assembly. Oh, sad news here, JHS one boy hangs himself. And Dr. Bawumia says insults and attacks from the NDC will not change his focus. Which of these do you want to dive into, Ben?
Oh, well, Kofi, I would want to tackle the Green Ghana project.
Good.
I think it's a very good one. Mm-hmm. But before I move to that one, I would also want to say that, the World Bank country director cannot be coerced or bribed to say other things.
I know you.
That's something. But that was the picture that he was trying to paint. It's very, very important.
Nobody said he was bribed.
Let me just. But
you guys are always.
That was the picture that he wanted to paint.
No.
He's not a Ghanaian. No, he's only doing his job.
No.
So if he had gone on your side,
I'm right here.
Accepted the report.
I'm right here. If you don't understand the picture I want to paint, ask me and I'll explain to you. It cannot be bribed, and yet it can be diplomatic. That's all I said.
We all support the Green Ghana project. In fact, we are losing more trees in our forest. The process of our forestation, whereby trees are being cut down and being replaced, is on a low turnout. In fact, if you have considered our weather patterns these days, Ghana in some part of the weather or some part of the countries have been extremely hot. There was a report from Environmental Protection Agency that because our major cities or towns do not have the right amount of trees, even the air that we breathe in has been polluted. So, Kafui, when we were children, when we were in primary schools, we were taught that trees are basic components of our lives. Because both oxygen and carbon dioxide that we take in and come out are very essential exponents of the trees that are around us. So I am very, very happy that the government of the day, President Akufo-Addo, together with the minister, Samuel Abu Jinapor, considering the fact that these days, if you look in town or if you go around town, you see that some of the areas, buildings and others, there are no trees or whatsoever. I was fortunate to go to Egypt. Kafui, you will be surprised. With every area that you go, government has purposely spent a lot of money on nursing and planting trees, not only for beautification, but they understand that even the air that we breathe in has to do with the number of trees that surrounds us. In Tanzania, when you are being caught for cutting down trees without reforesting, you'll be hanged. And I think government would have to, or our lawmakers would have to consider sanctions or laws that people that are making or trying to destroy plants in our areas of living would have to be properly sanctioned.
Our Speaker of Parliament has proposed that instead of planting seedlings, that's what's happening right now, the government should be planting trees. Quote, he said, the tree planting you've seen in the Middle East, Dubai and the rest, where they really bring trees and plant for deserts to turn into forests, that is tree planting.
Right.
What we do here is planting seedlings, and we should talk about growing trees.
Okay.
End quote. Speaker of Parliament. You agree with him?
So, yes, I mean, it's very important, but I believe that it's these seedlings that would eventually, grow up into big trees. I think it's a very good initiative. The government is doing well with that, and I feel that that is the right way to go. I, in the erstwhile government, never witnessed anything like this. But since 2 years now, I think it has become a national policy.
What do you say to those who are a bit skeptical of this Green Ghana project? They say, listen, the trees are being cut down,
right.
The forest cover is being destroyed
right.
for Galamsey,
right.
but on the other hand, we are growing trees. What's your response to them?
That's exactly what we are saying. I think we already have the laws, but to enforce it, Kafui, that is the main problem. Government would have to put in measures to enforce these laws.
Is government enforcing the laws?
No, that's what I'm saying, that, as part of the executive or, whatever it is, we are very, very keen on making sure that, what is in law, passed by the Act of Parliament, is being enforced. The Ghana Police Service and other institutions that are well known to have the rights and the authority to make sure that all these offenders, those that are corporate or found guilty of this, would have to. In fact, Ghana here, when people go to the forest and then they cut trees, and they just find them or take something from them, you see them on the roadside. You see all these logs and timbers on the roadside, and then you see how do you call it? Is it Environmental Protection Agency? Their monitoring and evaluation unit going around together with.
But not all of them are illegal. I worked in the shipping industry
right.
for a time.
Yes.
People have permits to export.
Exactly. But I'm saying that those that are caught, after paying monies to some, they are left to go. Once in Tanzania, when you are caught, you'll be hanged. So I think, like we are saying, the Speaker of Parliament is saying the right thing. We all need to come together as a nation and help this policy to move on.
Right.
I think it's very, very important, and a very good job to kudos to Minister for Lands and Natural Resources Samuel Abujinapo for this initiative.
All right, Eric, anything you want to speak about in our headlines?
Very little. For most part of it, I don't have any, but except that he's just expressing a desire that the laws should be enforced in there. You asked him whether the laws are being enforced. He couldn't answer. So that's the problem. So for me, we'll sit here one day and then we'll hear the budget, the money that was spent on this tree planting, and you realize that, wow, these people have duped us again, and it's the order of the day now. And so, of course, we should plant the trees. I don't have any problem with that. Let's plant the trees. But I am very skeptical about look, when they are excited like that and they are doing all of that, it is because they are getting something out of it as well. We know them.
But
that's how they are.
Why is my brother making such? There's something for what? But you see, when he says all of these things, when he says all of these things, it's rather unfortunate.
Listen. Your very opening statement, you hit straight at NDC. That's why when we were asked to talk about child labor, you went straight to World Bank country director, and then you started hitting NDC. And so if that's the order of the day, we'll do it. We'll hit each each other. And I'm saying that the corruption is so gargantuan that everybody can see it in the country. And so these tree planting, you wait and see. Oh, the corruption. Oh, even you know.
No heckling.
You know, there's so much corruption that is what has brought us into this mess that we are in. That is why you people said you will never go to IMF, and you are now in IMF. You are now on your knees begging everybody to give you money. You know. And then when the monies come, the monies will not go to the right places. Everybody knows that.
You should talk about tree planting.
Anyway, you can't restrain me to any area. I can respond to anything you have said over here. And so they asked you if the laws are being enforced. You spoke about how the trees should be planted. You are thanking ministers. You are patronizing them, just patronizing them, patronizing your government. Your government is not doing very well. And so if you want government to prosecute and enforce the law, tell them that, look, my people, you are not enforcing the law. We think that the law should be enforced. Don't just say that, oh, you are keen in enforcing the law. Are you enforcing the law? You are not enforcing the laws. See, but you are just interested in spending the money. But I am interested in the headlines that you read. I'm interested in something about Bawumia, if you can.
Okay, so he says, well, insults and attacks on the NDC will not change my focus. That's in the New Publisher. He's in the Finder. Our track record is our campaign message. Dr. Bawumia response to political opponents. Those are the headlines. Yes. He's talking about his track record.
Yes, and that's not the only thing. I read something also yesterday. He said that they should judge the government by what they have done, but not what they have said, or not. You should judge politicians by what they are doing or what they can do, but not what they say. You know? And this man, you know,
it's justifiable, isn't it? Well, just what I've done, not what I've said.
Well, you know, but if you wrote on the back of all that, you said so much about your opponents at the time, so much about John Mahama. And Mahama is incompetent, and this is this, and this is that, and they were always organizing programs for him to go and speak and castigate the government, and everybody is shouting the government is incompetent and all of that. You wrote on the back of that, and you came to power. And you have said so many lies to the extent that people are now, in fact, even school children are calling him Baulaya.
It's not true.
Instead of, oh, well, it's all about it. It's not true. You haven't seen it before.
That's a nickname you people have
and we are Ghanaians as well. If we are NDC, you also labeled Mahama as incompetent, and well, it's stuck. And so we are also Ghanaians. NDC people are Ghanaians also. So if we are calling him Baulaya, it's sticking. And so people are calling him Baulaya all over the place. And now you are telling us that, oh, don't listen to what we are saying. Don't listen to what we said before. Just listen to what we are doing. And they are not even doing anything. What they are doing is just pilfering, just enriching themselves. You know, every government is expected to bring some development, you know, to bring some progress. And so, but we have to measure the development. We have to measure the amount of money you are putting in and what we are seeing as the output of the money. So we need to see all of that. And so if we look at all the money, if you look at the mess we are in, if you look at how you have dragged us, all the money that has come your way, all the funds that were established by the government before you came and you use all those monies because you said you needed this for COVID. And in fact, COVID was just a big cover.
He says judge him by his track record.
Well, the track record, that's what I'm saying. The track record is the lies. There's so many lies that he has said, and that's why he's being called by liar. In fact, if you said the track record, the fact that he even gave that nickname alone shows that clearly everybody has seen that this man, he has said so much just because he wanted power. He wanted power for himself and Akufo-Addo. And he has said so much. And then now we have come to power and we are not seeing, in fact, didn't they say to us over and over again that they will never go to IMF? Are they not there now? Are they not there now? Is it every country in the world or every developing country that has run to IMF because of COVID? No.
So you can judge him by the fact that they've gone to the IMF.
Yes. So they have failed. That's what I'm saying. So if you say we should judge him by that, it means they have failed. But that's not what he's trying to say. He's trying to, you know, of course, he would say that they have done so much, and just like my friend here is trying to portray. But he himself doesn't feel good by saying that anyway because he knows that they have failed, you know, and everybody can see that clearly. And we are in a mess. Everybody is complaining everywhere.
What is NDC's alternative?
The alternative?
Yes.
Well, you know, because we are bringing someone who has been a president before, and we have seen what he has done. In fact, I'm sure you know about the People's Manifesto, the manifesto that NDC even put up during the 2020 elections. That was a very good manifesto. Upon that manifesto, NDC...
It didn't win you an election.
In fact, that's the matter of fact. It's the fact that somebody
else... It did not win you an election.
You see, Kafui, the fact that somebody is in government now doesn't really mean that person won the elections.
What does it mean?
Oh, they stole the elections. Who doesn't know that as
you
well?
Went to court. Didn't you not go to court?
Well, yeah, well.
Did you win the court case?
Look, you can go to court and lose. You can have a very good case and go to court and lose. You haven't heard that before? Have you heard that before? You can have a very good case. You go to court and you lose.
So the NDC did not lose 2020?
No, look at Parliament. When did Ghanaians ever vote the way this Parliament? Ghanaians always vote. Look, the one who is occupying the presidency always had majority in Parliament. Very good majority.
Let's look at Parliament.
But
who has a majority in Parliament?
But what majority?
There's no majority.
Well, we all had 137 at the beginning of Parliament. We had, in fact, even that, we knew what happened. We knew that they had to, look, Techiman South. Don't you know what happened over there?
You tell me.
That I believe strongly, and many people believe that NPP stole about 8 of NDC seats in order to have the same number of seats as we had.
You're a lawyer. Lawyers don't do big.
Well,
they don't base their
lawyers do politics as well.
They deal with it's the name of the game.
No, lawyers do politics as well.
Yes, but
you
have to prove what you say. You can't just throw things out in the air.
Even our president's a lawyer, isn't he?
You can't throw stuff in the air like that.
No,
sir.
Why not?
No, you can't.
No,
you have to back what you say.
No, but that's what I'm telling you. That you see, lawyers can even have very good case and go to court and lose. Haven't you heard that before? Yes, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that because you have lost. You see, we are being pushed to a corner. Everybody wants us to say that once you go to court and lose,
yes,
it means that you had a bad case.
But
and I'm saying that is not correct.
2020 was not a court case; it was an election, and the NDC lost the election.
No, and I'm saying, well, yeah, on paper. No,
it's always on paper. You have to declare on paper.
Yeah, but I am saying that I believe. Look, nobody can take that away from me. That I believe that the election was rigged.
It's your belief.
Did we not see the stolen verdict?
As long as it's
written by NPP before.
Okay, they also believe it was rigged.
Yes,
okay,
they did. So I'm saying that
if it's belief, then I'm fine.
Oh yes,
but
of course.
If you start going to fact, you have to prove it.
No, but again, I'm also saying that I have told you why this belief. Because I've told you, if you look at Parliament, you know that the numbers are par. And the fact that the numbers are par, you go back and see, when did Ghanaians vote that way before? It never happened before.
So you believe the election was stolen?
You believe too.
You cannot believe for me.
I know you do. But just that you cannot admit that.
No, Eric, you cannot believe for me.
I'm saying that.
Sorry.
No, even you see the MPP folks. MPP folks who went to the ground to make sure that they were able to.
You cannot believe for me.
Well, okay, all right, fine. I don't want to believe for you.
Thank you.
But I'm saying that the general perception in the country, based on even the numbers in Parliament and even the way they are struggling so much to reduce the numbers of NDC in Parliament right now, this whole Tachekwesen case is just because they are so determined to reduce NDC's number further in Parliament so that they have majority. They are struggling. They've been struggling from day one. It never happened before.
You still haven't told me the NDC alternative to this government.
No, I've told you that. You see, I'm not sure that you want me to outline NDC's manifesto over here. I'm saying that the parties campaign on manifestos. Isn't that the case? And I'm saying that NDC presented a manifesto in 2020. That's when you said that.
Are you bringing it back? Are you bringing the 2020 manifesto back for 2024?
Well, of course, yes. We'll bring the manifesto. We'll do some editing. We'll make some additions, and then we'll bring them back. The most important thing is that John Mahama, who was the president before, is the one who is coming back. He's the one bearing our flag. And people know his track record. They know what he can do. It's not comparable to the one in power now, not to Alan Tremantin, not to Bawumia, not to any of the people.
What was Mr. Mahama's biggest achievement in power?
Oh, wow. I think we can all see the landmarks all over the place. We can see the rich hospitals, we can see the various hospitals, the University Hospital, the Maritime Hospital, and all of that. The projects are there. We can even see the port. So, Kafui, this one, I think that it's not debatable at all. Because
I just want to know. You said he's coming back.
Mahama, everybody knows that Mahama has done better. And also, when you look at even our lifestyles, our welfare now, and the trouble Ghanaians are going through, even in the markets, clearly you would see that the times past was far better than now.
So he has a wand, magic wand, to change things?
Well, yeah, I believe so. Because if he's coming to do the same things that he did in the past, for us to have a better life than we are having now, then why not? It means that, yeah, he can do far better, and everybody believes he can do far better. That's why everywhere he goes, you see the crowd following him. Everybody thinks that he should come back and rescue Ghana. And I believe that is going to happen. We are going to make sure that Mahama comes back to power.
You're a real believer. You believe in a lot of things.
Oh, yes, and you need to believe.
You even believe for me.
You see, I'm sure that when you listen to me, you can also believe certain things for me. And I'm saying that we are all Ghanaians. I can understand your work. You know, the work you do, you have to.
Me, I don't do assumptions. I ask questions.
Well,
so
no, that's
if you're
what I'm
assuming
saying.
for me, then I'm worried.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, even if you have assumptions, you are a human being. You always do assumptions, except that when you are on set, you don't do those assumptions. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to get into your mind. Everybody can get. I'm saying Ghana, everybody is complaining. It's on the streets, in the trotros, everywhere. It is only MPP operatives that are not complaining. Everybody knows that.
Exactly.
Is it a secret? No, you don't have to ask him. Kafu, even you know, but except that.
I want to
You
hear
see,
from him.
Kafui,
He would never agree.
my brother Eric has nothing to say to Ghanaians this morning. And clearly you could see. Kafui, we have one of the sincerest president ever in our history
Who says?
of Ghana.
But he's not running in 2024.
See.
Why should Ghanaians vote for him?
See,
He's not running.
That
He's not
statement is
running.
even
I'm
false.
coming there.
He's not running
I'm
in
coming there,
2024.
Kafui.
He's almost out of time.
We all know that we are in extremely difficult times.
Who created that?
Don't help it.
The country right now is in extremely difficult times. But the most brilliant and the most beautiful of all is that the president of the day has admitted that we are in difficult times. That is the first point to start with.
His admission doesn't mean
It is very, very important
Mr. Aliko, please.
that when the people give you the mandate and things are hard, you tell them the truth. And that is what the president has done. We all know where we are coming from. Kafui, you and I, about 2 or 3 months ago, we were buying a liter of diesel for 23 Ghana cedis. Today, how much are we buying diesel? It has come down, it has trickled down to 13 cedis. As a result of COVID and the Russian-Ukraine war, we had to buy a liter of fuel for as high as 18 Ghana cedis. Now, what is the price? Now, it is 12.49 per liter. That should tell you that we were at a difficult place. We are gradually migrating to where we were at normal times and even better.
Are prices coming down?
Prices are coming down.
Commodities?
Even, let me
Apart
tell
from
you,
fuel.
even the recent example of all, GPRTU came out with a 10% transportation reduction for fares.
Effective when?
See, it has already been effective.
But if all prices are
It's just that some group of people are hesitant to implement it.
So it's not affected yet.
So that is what I'm saying. That once the fuel prices have gone down, commodity prices, inflation, we had the highest in the last 4 or 5 months. Just March, inflation has dropped. So Kafui, we all have to know that we are in an extremely difficult time. Ghanaians really know, the world really know that as a result of COVID, the whole world was at a standpoint. Factories were being shut down, businessmen couldn't fly, nobody could go elsewhere to bring their goods in whatsoever. But we are grateful to the Almighty God that things are getting better. In fact, he's here and calling vice president's names. Our vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has played a significant role in our recovery plan to where we are right now.
But is it not also a fact that insults are part of politics?
Well,
and the
it is.
NDC is only paying you back in your own coin.
The problem. Like
in
he
your
says,
own coin.
Like he says, he's focused. He knows that these people are going to insult him. He knows that they are going to heckle him. He knows that they are going to cast insinuations, false accusations, whatsoever.
Because the same thing happened when you were in
exactly,
opposition.
he's focused.
Nobody is
But
insulting
it is
anyway.
very, very important that Eric knows. Eric knows that even when President Mahama had a chance to speak to Harvard students last year in May, when he had a chance to talk to the people, he told them that COVID has had a tremendous consequence on the economies of Africa. And you and I know that. And hence, that is the reason why we find ourselves in these difficult times.
Mahama didn't say that. Mahama didn't say that.
I have a statement here, Eric.
Okay.
I have a statement here when he went to Harvard.
No.
He was asked about the impact of COVID and Russia-Ukraine war. If you want, I can read it to you.
No, you can't. Yeah.
And he said that
No, you
it
are
has
making.
had a very serious consequence on the economies of Africa.
Yes, I agree. I agree to that.
Including the current hardships and the difficulties that we are all facing.
I really wanted to ask you the same question I asked
Eric.
Why should Ghanaians retain the NPP in 2024?
Yes.
Why?
There has been so many policies. Have we? We've done so well, notwithstanding the difficulties that we are in right now. Look at the policy of free SHS that we are all enjoying. Our electricities are on, regardless of the hardship that we are in. At the time, ask them
what did you do?
If they had any world
What did you do?
pandemic,
What did you do for the electricity to be on?
our lights were off. Even just at Abeka Junction, women that were selling, walking with pure water, they did not even have a chance to go and buy ice blocks to put it on their water to sell.
So Ghanaians should vote for the NPP because of free SHS and electricity?
I'm telling you
Is that it?
Our standard of living has improved so much. And it could have been worse under their government.
How do you know that? You're not a prophet.
Because you could see. You can see that even as times are difficult, our lights are on. When they had no pandemic, when they had all the monies, our lights were going off.
So if the lights
they couldn't pay for free SHS.
So the lights is a key
that was a key determinant in the 2016 and 2020 elections.
Electricity.
Exactly. Because you see, if you are running a setup like this, and then you go out, at first you were using electricity, now you are using generator. You have to buy fuel. Looking at the profit that you've got, sometimes business is not even open. Barbers were not opening their shop. Welders couldn't work. Co-stores couldn't open. Everything was at a standstill. Even school children had to wait and do their homeworks under street light. So, if you go to Joy FM or even GTV here, school children had to do their, because that was the only way, because your institution was using generator.
So power will keep NPP in power?
No, I'm not saying that. I am saying that there has been a lot of policies that we have implemented. And one of the key determinants that we used, or Ghanaians are critically looking at, is that energy is something that they will look at.
Okay, so energy.
What have they done? What have the NPP done since they came in? What did they do at their time?
Tell us what you have done.
Our lights is on.
Okay, so
we have expanded. There has been a tremendous expansion in our rural areas when it comes to electricity.
Okay.
Free SHS. Okay. Our mothers, even when times are hard like this,
they can take their children to school.
They are still going. They are taking their children to school.
Okay.
So if you have them, you can just only imagine. And right now, they have no idea of
He wants me to believe. You want me to imagine. I can't do both.
That. You know what is currently happening. You can both compare.
Gentlemen, we are out of time.
You understand?
Yes.
All that I'm saying is that.
Are you ending on?
All that I'm saying is that.
All
that I'm saying is that 2024, Ghanaians are very discerning, irrespective of the hardship that we are all currently going through as a result of the COVID and Russia-Ukraine war. Things are gradually coming down. Like I said earlier on, we used to buy a liter of diesel for 23 Ghana cedis.
It's now 12.49.
Now 12.49.
Thank you so much.
Fuel at 18 cedis, now 12.49.
All right, Ben.
Everything is gradually coming down.
Okay, so fuel and power.
We are only praying because it affects all aspects of our lives.
All righty. Ben Jehu Appiah, very vigorous member of the NPP's national communication team, saying that, well, those are his conclusions. That's what he believes will keep the NPP in power beyond 2024. Eric, your last word. You don't have much time.
Yeah, except that, you see, Ghanaians have to understand that NPP...
What will bring NDC to power?
Yeah, but of course, people have to know that they have not done anything to keep the lights on. In fact, the power crisis was not the cause of NDC or John Mahama. In fact, he was the one that even solved it. Everybody knows that.
That is
this
not
debate,
true.
I'm not sure we will start this debate at this point, you know. But yeah, so if that is what you want to ride on to remain in power, then I'm sorry. Everybody knows that you didn't do anything. You didn't add any generation. Bringing us to power. First of all, I've said already that we are bringing John Mahama back. Everybody knows John Mahama.
Bring you to power.
You know, no, listen to me. I'm saying that we all know what he can do. we all have seen the mess these people have created, and Ghana needs to be rescued. Okay. And then we believe that John Mahama will come and rescue this nation. And
Eric
behind
Delanyo Alifo, NDC legal team, and Ben Joe Apia, MPP's national communication team. We have had breakfast here with the headlines. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Still to come, we are looking at PIAC, Public Interest and Accountability Committee's 2022 report. We have a conversation with Nathan on breakfast. Charlie, you know we small Monday morning things. But God day, we all we did. Stick around, don't go anywhere. This is GTV Breakfast.